Excuse me. Hi, Elizabeth. Hi, Leah. Hey, Gloria. Hey, Molly. Hi, Linda. Hey, Jen. Glad you guys are joining in. Well, almost time to start. There we go. It is 6:30 on Tuesday, which means it's time for another episode of Tiger Stamp Club Live, where we make great cards. And I always say it, but I do believe I have another great card for you tonight. Remember that if you comment during tonight's video, then your name will go into a drawing to win the card that I'm making tonight. And if you share tonight's video, then your name will go in twice. You'll have 2 chances to win. So that is the fun of watching Tiger Stamp Club Live. Not a lot of news going on, except if you're a demonstrator, then you know that the pre-order began today. And so there's going to be a new mini catalog that comes out the 1st of January. And if you're a demonstrator, you can order from that mini catalog starting today. Also, there were brand new online exclusive items released today. And everybody can order those as well. So yes, I did spend some money today. Got some fun things coming up. So the one thing I did want to say was that starting in December, we're not supposed to announce this yet. I don't know why. But starting in December, they're going to start a new product of the month. And so if you put in a $75 order, then you can order the product of the month for $5. And it's supposed to be like good stuff. So I have no idea what it's going to be, but it's going to be like stamp sets and dies and I don't know what all. We're going to find out December 1st. And they say to let you know that it is while supplies last. And if they run out of the product of the month, then it's over for that month. If they don't run out of the product of the month, it can carry over to the next month. And let's say that you put in a $75 order in January, you can have the choice of getting January's product of the month or December's if there's any left over. So kind of a neat idea. We'll see how it goes, but I think it's a cool thing. And it's exclusive. You know, it's not going to be offered any other way. So that's all I know about that. Oh, good, Jennifer, you got your pre-order done as well. Hi, Nancy. Yeah, so let's just jump right to it. That's all the news that I know of. Pre-order and product of the month starting next year. Let's take a look at this fun card that we're going to be making tonight. I thought this was just a really great use of this product. I've seen a few, And this one caught my eye, so I said, I think I'm going to do this during Tiger Stamp Club Live because I just thought it was a lot of fun. And this uses a brand new online exclusive set called On Display. And as you can see, it's a mixture of sentiments and images. And the dies, oh, by the way, this is the new packaging for our stamps. They're not going to come in cases anymore. They're going to come in these pockets. And what's really cool about the pockets is that if it's a bundle and it has dies in it, you can store your dies right in the same pocket as your stamps. And that's going to just save a lot of space, I believe. So here are my stamps. And then here I put it in the pocket. And then, of course, I bought some magnet cards to put my dies on. And they just slip right into this pocket. And then there's a slit here that I can put the envelope closed with. And now everything fits in there. I think it's going to be a real space saver. But anyway, so you can see these dies. Here is the big shelf die that you use. And then you just have tons of things, tons of options that you can put on display on your shelf, on your card. Plants, cats, birds, a globe, all sorts of things, books. And it's just, I thought it was a lot of fun. And I saw this one. This was made by, this was designed by a demonstrator. I don't know where she's from. Her name is Laura, and I can't remember her last name. I'll post it. But yes, this is her design, and I really, really did like it. And it was a lot of fun to put together. And yes, there's lots of little pieces, but isn't that cute? Isn't that cute? I knew you would like this, Gloria, because of all the little pieces. Gloria likes paper piecing and little bitty, tiny die cuts, and I knew this would be her style. Oh, you ordered some of these empty pockets to use for older sets. Yeah, you can convert those. I think I'm going to really like them. A lot of people have been complaining, because they've got everything in the old way. It just, that's just human nature to complain when things change. I think I'm going to like the change. All right, so let's get started with this. Again, this is called On Display, and it is a bundle, and it is an online exclusive. Let me pull over some stuff here. There's lots of little pieces, so hopefully I do not lose any of them. So this is a card base that is 4 1/4 by 11, and it's scored at 5 1/2. So it is a top fold card, as you can see there. And then we're going to begin. Let me pull these over. We're going to begin. What I did is, and I don't know if she did it because there were no instructions with her card. She just had a picture of it. So I had to decipher colors and everything to see just how she did it. But I don't think she did this, but this is what I'm going to do. I cut this shelf out of pecan pie 3 times. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to layer these on top of each other to give us some depth for our shelf. So that's how we're going to begin today. And I am going to be using my fine tip glue gun. And I'm just going to quickly dot on glue. And layer this up. And this gives that bookshelf a sense of depth, so everything is just not so flat on it. And of course, you wouldn't have to do this. It's just a little extra thing that I thought I would do. So you see how easy that is to layer and line up. And let me make sure I'm on the right side. Yes, okay. So we're going to do it one more time. Like I said, with these designers, they do a lot of things that are not necessary, but it really does add to the finished product of the card. That's why I always liked Molly's classes. Molly had the most amazing cards. Molly's on here, I think. I think I said hi to her earlier. And she had the most unique and amazing cards. She just used her Cricut and any idea that she had. And she always had lots of details on her cards. You should start that up again, Molly. I'd come to your class. Oh, good idea, Nancy says. You could also cut it out of foam sheet and then just layer the pecan pie layer on top, and that would also give it some depth. That's a great idea. All right, now I'm going to grab this piece of pecan pie to be the backing. And it is 3.5 by 5, and then I just cut it a 1/16 off of the top and the side, just so that it would fit on here nicely. Now look at this. When I put this on there, do you see that it's pretty flat? That since the color is the same, there's not a lot of contrast or anything. So I don't know if Laura did this on her original card, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some pecan pie ink and a blending brush, and I'm just going to layer on some pecan pie ink. So this is tone on tone, just so that on this backing piece, it's not going to look so flat on the card. It's going to give it some depth. And like I said, I don't know if Laura did this on her card. But that's what we're doing. And I'm not going to do a whole lot. Don't need a whole lot. And it doesn't have to be super even or super, perfect. And I don't know if you can tell now that there is some depth when we layer this bookshelf die cut piece on the backing. Now we are going to be placing some things on the different shelves, so we're going to be covering up some of it, but that's all right. We've got on a good base now. Let me just wipe this ink off real quick. I love this glass mat for this purpose. And then I'm going to just dry it real quick. All right. Now I can glue this onto the back. And again, I'm just going to dot some glue on here. Hey, Susan. Glad you could join us. Hey, Carol. I saw Carol the other day playing pickleball. Yeah, Carol, I finally joined Roma Berry. All right, now we've got our backing onto our shelf. And now that we have that done, we can adhere this whole thing onto our card base. And see how it's not exactly lined up, but that's okay because it is not going to be seen from the back. And I'm just looking to see where my liquid glue is. It's all the way over there on my desk, so hopefully this, yeah, good, this works. Now I'm just going to adhere this shelf, this bookcase, my display case, onto my card base. Let me make sure I know where the fold is. Press good on that. It has been fun. I did win gold, Molly. I played in a tournament over the weekend in Fayetteville, Arkansas, and my partner and I won gold in our age division. It was super, super fun. All right, now, everything, well, almost everything else. Let me not say everything. Let me go ahead and take care of the stamping since that's the other fussy work that we need to do. And I'm trying to get this piece. I've got a scrap piece of basic beige. And I'm going to get my early espresso ink. And we've got a hello sign and a little sentiment that says you're the best. So I'm going to ink up my hello. And I'm trying to get this on as straight as possible. And whenever I do something like this, I try and get it right in the corner as straight as possible. And that just makes it easier when I need to trim. That's pretty straight. Straight enough for government work. And then I'm going to do the same thing with you're the best. Want it right in the corner. There we go. And then I'm going to trim those apart here in a few minutes. Let me clean off my stamps. All right. I will trim those at the end. Let's start putting some stuff together for our bookshelf. So the first thing that I'm going to do is find our mirror. Let me get that mirror piece. So I've got this mirror frame out of Daffodil Delight. And the actual mirror piece is silver foil. So we are going to place that in here. And what I'm going to actually do is turn it over like this. Piece these together. And then I'm going to use a Stampin' Dimensional to kind of hold them together. So I'm going to put one at the top that kind of overlaps. And let's see if this bottom one will fit. Yeah, I think it will. Just so that it overlaps and holds this together. And then we can place this first item right on our shelf, like here. There we go. There's our first little item. All right, let's move over this way. Oh, I was going to show you another thing that I saw on another card. Because when you cut out this, when you cut out the frame, you get lots of little pieces like this from these holes. And I thought, well, those would be great for little sentiments and stuff to use in your stash. Just have on the ready. But then I saw on another card that used this die set, that they used it like for a drawer. So let's say I wanted to just use this as a drawer. They've got this little handle die that I cut out of silver foil, and that now is a drawer. Or maybe you want a door on one of your little compartments. I'm not sure if that's the right one. This might be the right one. So you can make a little door out of it. I thought that was really cool too. We didn't use those on this particular card, but I thought that was a great idea as well. All right. They just think of everything, don't they? All right. So now I've got a planter and a plant. This planter is made out of die cut from Azure Afternoon, and then this is Lemon Lime Twist. And what we're going to do is I am going to thread this innermost vine, we're going to call it a vine, to the back, and so that the plant hangs over on the side. And then on the back, it looks like this. And we're going to trim this back piece off so that you can't see it from the front. So let me just give that little plant a haircut. And then again, we are going to use the Stampin' Dimensional to trap that into place. And now this can go on the shelf here. And it looks so, so cute there. Look at that. Look how easy that was, and look how cute that planter thing is right there. We're going to save the books till later because that's quite a little paper piecing feat. Let's go to our other plant. And now I've got a planter bowl, again, Azure Afternoon. And then this plant is soft sea foam. And so what we're going to do here is I'm just going to glue this. I like that they give us this little piece down here to actually glue and glue that into the pot. And I'm just going to set this on here like this. And then on the back, I am going to pop that up some, but I'm going to use some mini dimensionals. I know I have some here. Going to put some mini dimensionals on the back of these leaves. Did I get that too far over? There we go. And on the back of the pot. There we go. All right. And now this is going to go on this shelf. There we go. We got a plant there. So cute, so easy to put together. All right, let's move over to these books. These books aren't so hard. These are our horizontal books. And if you'll notice here, I've got one cut out of Daffodil Delight and one cut out of crushed curry. And we're going to paper piece these together. So I'm going to cut this middle book out of this stack. Again, like I said, it would be fine just to leave it all Daffodil Delight, but the extra little depth and interest that you create by paper piecing these together, it makes a huge difference to me. But if you were in a hurry, you probably wouldn't choose this set to work on that night. All right, goes this way. So we're going to put this layer this on here. And then a little mini dimensional on the back, maybe two. And then this is going to layer here. There you go. All right. Now we have this little decorative pot here, and when you die cut it, it comes out in two pieces. So you could make the lid of the pot a different color if you wanted. I did not because Laura did not. But I am going to kind of fit these together from behind here. And then try and get them together with a Stampin' Dimensional. Now, it just wants to stick to my fingers and not anything else. Okay, let's see if I can do this. Good. And this little guy's going to go here. Maybe I need to just move that lid over just a little bit. No one would really notice except for you and me. There we go. Isn't it cute? And it's just getting cuter. All right. We've got that, we've got that, we've got the books. Let's work on the jugs, the decorative jars. Don't say jugs, Manny. This is a family show. All right, here we go. I don't know what I'm saying. Let's go on. I thought I would try adding a little ink to these jars. Let me see if I have. I'm looking at my. This is basic beige. Where's my basic beige ink? Because I feel like they're a little flat. Let me just try doing pecan pie, just adding a little pecan pie. And I'm not going to add any more ink to my brush because I probably already have enough on there. And I'm just going to do it on this one side. And it's going to be very light, but I feel like this is just a little flat. I probably should have done the other side since, well, I could put the bigger bottle in the back. Let me put the bigger bottle in the back on this one and see what that looks like. Just adding a little ink here. Hopefully it won't look quite so flat. And again, I just used what was still on my brush. Didn't add any more because I just wanted it light. So I'm gonna put the big bottle in the back this time. So I'm going to adhere it flat. And then I'm going to pop this one up with dimensionals. Mini dimensional, a mini dimensional. There we go. And it's a very subtle little difference. I don't know if you can tell, but it seems to be a little bit better, I think, in my opinion. A little bit better adding just a little bit of ink to that because this looks pretty flat to me. All right. All right, so now we've got this bird cage. Oh, by the way, I forgot my colors here. This is basic beige, and these are basic beige. And now we have a smoky slate bird cage outline, and then a basic gray cage part. Okay, and those fit together. And I am going to if I was doing this again, I would make sure that I cut out a backing piece for this because without it, it's a little hard to get on the card, or at least was last night when I was putting this together. Actually, I cut out everything here at work, and I was cutting 2 of everything because when you're making more than one card, it's easier to die cut all at the same time. And so I had all my pieces and I took them home, and while my wife and I were watching TV, I pieced this together and I was so happy with the way it came out. I thought, now that's a cute card. You know, sometimes I pick out a card, believe it or not, and I think it's really cute in the picture, and I think it's, you know, the kind of card that we should do in class or on here on my live. And then when I get it together, I'm just like, I don't really, it's not, it's not all that. So there's been many times when I've just scrapped it. But so I was really happy the way this card came out. That is much better than I did that. I ended up adhering this flat. But this is much better this way. All right. Time for the books. So let's see what we've got in books. So I used the same die cut, and I cut it out once in Calypso Coral, Pool Party, and Pretty in Pink to make our books here. And I was just approximating what colors I thought she might have used in the picture. I couldn't really tell. She may have used Cajun Craze instead. I couldn't really tell. And this pink may be more basic beige. I couldn't really tell, but this is what I ended up with. And I thought these books came out pretty cute. So that, I was happy with that. And, we're just going to paper piece these together. Last night I did it a really hard way, and I ended up, adhering everything flat. So I think I'm just going to cut them apart and glue them flat next to each other. I was trying to overlap, you know, so there would be, you know, I was thinking maybe I would pop these books up, but I ended up not. So I'm just going to glue all of this flat. I do need my fine tip glue. Yes, isn't it a cute card? I mean, and there's just so many possibilities that you can do with this set. Now I've got greenery in the way. Let's slide that in there. Let's make sure it's straight. All right, there's our first 2 books. Now we need some balmy blue, and we're going to pick the So yeah, this part is a little fussy, but I think it makes all the difference. And like I say, if you paper piece it while you're watching TV, it goes by very quickly. You don't feel like it's taking forever or whatnot. Oops, upside down. Should have waited for this greenery part. All right, now we need some Pretty in Pink. Yes, wouldn't this be a great card for like a book club invitation, or, you know, just sending it to your book club people? I got a little crazy with that cut, so we'll see how this looks. All right, a couple of blue ones now. Molly, I know there would be some cats on your shelf. Maybe a pink one. Couple of Calypso. Well, hey, Jen, here's an idea. You could do your own classes. You could, though. I've seen the cards you make. All right, there's that. Oh, I got a little heavy with the glue there, but luckily it dries. It dries clear. And I know this last one should be Calypso Coral. I mean, no one would know, but I'm going to try and add this one. I just didn't cut off that pink one because I think I can layer this on top now, which is kind of what I did with the first try, and it was just very, very fussy. West Side Stampers. All right, let me try and finesse this into place. Okay, I'm going to leave this off because I cannot get it into that spot. So I like it just like that. How many times have I decided that I like it just like it is without going any further? All right, let me get these little pieces out of the way. And we'll add our sentiments. Get my trimmer out. Move this out of the way real quick. Oops, wrong. There we go. Here's one. All right, let's bring this back over. On my other card, I kind of didn't pop it up, but since that's popped up, I just kind of was trying to make it look like it was at an angle, you know, like if you had a hello sign on your shelf. I'm not sure how successful that is, but I am just going to go ahead and do that again. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on this end and a little bit of glue on this end. And since it overlaps there with the little planter, that side is kind of popped up and this side is flat. So it hopefully looks like it's a sign that is at an angle. And then to finish this up, I'm going to put a glue dot there, not a glue dot, a dimensional there and a dimensional there. And then this is going to go here. Let's get it over just a bit. So much fun playing with these little different die cuts and pieces. And there's plenty more. Look, there are 30 dies in this die set. Here's a little cut out the cats. Here's the globe. There's a different plant. Oh, that's books that are leaning. But anyway, lots and lots of different opportunities for you to put things on display on your bookshelf. And I was also thinking, what if you made a little bitty tiny photograph and put a silver frame around it? You could even maybe put it in that little mirror frame. And wouldn't that be cute sitting on the shelf of your card? Again, this is called On Display. It is a brand new online exclusive. There are 26 stamps, photopolymer, and 30 coordinating dies. And with it, you can create the cutest cards. I hope you enjoyed this one. And someone is going to be winning this here pretty quickly. I will clean up here in, just a bit, and then I will go through the comments and see if there are any questions that you have or answer any other things. And someone will win this pretty card. Fun card. Guys, I do appreciate you joining me tonight. I have so much fun crafting with you and demonstrating these cards. I hope you enjoy it. And again, someone's going to win this card, and I will see you next time for another great card. Thanks for being here. Bye. I don't know how to display. That's good. Bye, everybody.